Okay. Bitcoin in Bitcoin. Bitcoin. What's going on with Bitcoin? Let's have a look. Interesting. Let me update the volume range pool. You're seeing more volume coming in. Value area high is slightly lower. Let's bring it down a bit. What are the settings on that? 68, that's fine. Let me see what 70 is like. Interesting. Okay. Keep it there. 68. That's fine. Not much change in the range. So we've basically given back all the gains in this pump. 2, 3, 4, 5. That's basically exhausted. Little bounce. We're kind of trying to get back above this SFP level, but it's failing. Fail. We've got this fib pool from the pivot here to the pivot here. It came down. There was no trades from yesterday. I had alerts on, and they both, I didn't take either trade because there was no reaction at all. Literally no reaction here. No reaction here. Okay. I did take a long yesterday. I took it on this swing failure here, and I've taken profit on that long. And the reason why I took that swing failure is because it also came into the 786 and the value area low, but I didn't post it. It was just kind of look at my phone, saw what happened, and just took it. I didn't really think about it. What's the daily candles are like? Let's have a look at the daily candles, and then I'll have a look at XO charts as well. So great bullish candle followed by 2 bearish candles, and now we're in the next candle. It's trying to get back up, which is normal, and you basically have this daily low here that it's holding the price at the moment. It needs to get back above. If it can't get back above, then we could potentially see lower. What the bulls need is for this green candle to go up, and then you have an inverse head and shoulders right here. You can kind of see it. Red green, red green, red green. That would be a very nice pattern forming. Let me see what it looks like on this time frame. So you see on the 12-hour time frame, if I hide all these levels, delete that now. It's at a pretty interesting point because you've clearly made a lower shoulder here. This is the inverse head and shoulders here. That's the head. And now we're into the right shoulder. And we're just finding resistance kind of roughly around there. and then that will probably make another all-time high if that breaks. And effectively you'll get a break lower down, but getting past the previous bull market all-time high, you'll suddenly see the volume come in. Suddenly the volume will just come in. People will just ape in once they see that form. Right now you're in the right shoulder. The 12-hour candle, for all intents purposes, was not bad, increasing volume with a really nice wick underneath this candle, pushing down into this low, into these lows. The next candle is very important. We need this to go up. Really, it needs to go up, and then it needs to go up, and then it needs to go up. We just need this to go up now for the bulls if you want this to become bullish. I think the longer it holds underneath this resistance level, the more likely it is that it's gonna go down again. Okay, so that was a really nice bullish 4-hour close. Now we're trying to hold above this previous candle high in a 4-hour. That would be a nice place to long, because you have a really tight invalidation underneath this 4-hour candle, but you're still kind of longing into a key level that looks like it's an SR flip. The SR flip is somewhere here. Let me figure this out. Have I got it marked? Pretty much there. Well, it goes all the way back to here. That's the SR flip. See that? Let me just get rid of that alert. Don't need it anymore. Get rid of all my alerts, actually. No, I'll keep them, it's fine. I wish you could just right click and get rid of the alert, but it doesn't want it here. Delete, there you go. Did that work? What the hell? Alert central. Yes. Oh, there you go, it's gone. Interesting. So look, it's actually kind of looking okay, huh? It's looking okay right now. You see that? You have an SR flip. There's clearly some reactions. Look, reaction, 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 reaction. And we've just broke above it again. And now we're trying to back test this SR flip. And for our time frame, I mean, there's a trade there. If you hold that, that's your line in the sand, effectively. 4-hour close candle. When does it close? In half an hour. That's your trade. Somewhere. Maybe up there. Effectively, just on that candle. Just because of where the candle is forming. And then the idea of this SR flip acting as some kind of higher medium time frame support and resistance level. You can see how on the candles it's reacting and the price is moving around this SR flip. We've lost it, we reclaimed it, lost it, reclaimed it. Let's go up. And then something else too, I can tell you right now, on this whole down move, you have decreasing volume. I mean, I would say for all intents purposes, the price is exhausting on the to the downside. It's kind of finding exhaustion. I wanted to take out this low. I wanted this to go down. But what if you make a higher low? And I think a lot of people who want to go long are looking for this lower liquidity level to be taken, but you know, it's always possible to make a higher low in a bull market. It's very possible to make higher lows. It's a reverse in the bear market. In the bear market, lower highs. The bull market, higher lows. That's what I'm looking for. I'm also very attentive to higher lows. So could that be a higher low? And could this be a higher low? And could we be forming an inverse head and shoulders? You'll have a neckline like that. And then you just need to get up there. Then you'd need to go up. You wouldn't want to create an inverse head and shoulders here, and you wouldn't want to reject. That's not good. That's an invalidated head and shoulders pattern. So once you break the neckline, you have to go for it. It has to move. And if you reject and you invalidate the head and shoulders pattern, then you are going down. And so potentially once you get above that level there, you need to hold it, and as soon as you go down underneath it, then you'll start seeing people closing their longs or maybe even shorting, and then you're probably forming something else. And then the next question is going to be, do you get another bounce here or not? Who knows? Probably not. Good morning, Sebastian. Just analyzing Bitcoin. I'm interested in the price action for a long. I'm in a long right now, and I'm seeing this inverse head and shoulders. I see that we've come up and down on this SR flip where it's reacting to the price as support and resistance here, and here. And right now I'm looking at it and I'm seeing that on the 4-hour time frame the price has come back above that level and it's holding. We have 22 minutes and there's a trade to be had here potentially. If it holds, potentially it's a really tight invalidation. The price could always, even if you have that kind of trade, it's something to bear in mind. The price could always in the next candle go down and then go up just to clear the liquidity there before it goes up. So potentially it's better to have a slightly wider invalidation just in case the price does that. If the price does that, it's not going to go all the way down here to do that. It will just be a quick down and up. So you don't want to be caught in that situation. So you would probably have a slightly wider invalidation just in case that happens, just to protect yourself from what could happen if the price was going to go up. Effectively then the price could, because this is a hold, a back test, you could get one more back test on the 4-hour time frame, but I think if it holds here, it's quite likely that you're going to start getting people long again because they have an invalidation. It's this wick low. Potentially you would kind of just have a slightly wider invalidation on this 4-hour candle. You wouldn't want the next 4-hour candle to go all the way down here. That wouldn't be bullish. I think potentially worst case scenario, if it was to go up, go down, take the liquidity from the previous 4-hour candle, go up, or just go up, and that would be your long trade. Okay. And the great thing about these dojis is that if people are short biased, you can also short, but because it's above the SR flip, I wouldn't short. I'd be looking for a long. But the reason why you can short dojis, and you can short and long dojis, because you have invalidations. The dojis give you invalidations like this in key areas. It's just a kind of the local high. Again, you can have the same situation, so you'd have to have a slightly wider invalidation. The price could always go up, take the liquidity, and head right back down. That's why you can't have a tight invalidation. You have to have a slightly wider invalidation. But dojis are nice. I'm not thinking short. The reason why I'm not thinking short is because we've got a higher time frame Elliott Wave in play. Okay, and so let me just pull it up to show you. This is my count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, something like that. And obviously those targets can change. It's just an idea. And we've had our 1, this is our 2, this is our 3. Okay. And then we're looking for a 4. Now we're looking for a 4. This 4 was quite prolonged. I mean, sorry, this 2 was quite prolonged. You kind of had it was kind of like this: A, B, C. And I'm looking for an ABC here. I think we're in a really important area, because you can see that the fibs have lined up here. We're back testing those fibs. We're finding support. I feel like we're finding support, and we should go up, and potentially that's your A. B, and again C. And maybe you form a big M, huh? Maybe that's what's forming now. Let me zoom in a little bit. Where'd my harmonic go? Finished. I'm gonna be back in 2 minutes or 3 minutes. Okay, don't go, or go and come back. Okay. Let me have a look at those harmonics as well. It's always good to have a look at them, just to reference. It's very hard to know because we're only here at the midpoint here, the B. But effectively, you're looking at an M, one of these M's, and you have a deep B. So which one is deep? None of them. What the hell? I don't know. Deep B. Don't like any of them. Maybe it's not a harmonic. Maybe look at this one. I'm not great with harmonics, to be honest with you. I'm still learning. Actually, it's like my biggest weakness. So I do try. The B's aren't deep on these M's. It's quite a deep B comparatively. These aren't very deep. So I think that would be nice. I'm not crazy fond of it, but there is an M forming, especially if we go up and fail. I'm thinking we go up and fail this this inverse head and shoulders and just come right back down and go much deeper. So you make a higher low. It'll be this one here, the bullish crab potentially. Well, this X is a bit weird. Kind of. Or this one. Is that a cipher? No. It's going all the way down the zone. It's quite corrective. Maybe that's better. Doesn't really matter. But it looks better, huh? This is like a bullish cipher. And you fail this you fail this inverse head and shoulders for a push down to take out the liquidity from this low here, and that would be a nice back test of this confluence of fib lines lower down. People will then be thinking it's going to zero, and then it just swing failures and it just heads up again. Good morning, Sushant. I'm pretty good. I'm just having a look at some ideas on Bitcoin. And that would be a correction done. And that's only if we go up now. Obviously, if we continue going down, who knows? It's going to look terrible if we continue going down. It's like, how far do you go? But I mean, even if you go down now, I would still take the long trade lower down, which I had previously planned. Where is it? This one. I'd still take that one, but it wouldn't catch a falling knife. I would wait to see a reaction. I'd wait to see where the shorts are closing and where the longs are opening. Oh, so Sushan wants to buy this wick. That's a smart play. And actually, it could probably go all the way down to here, Sushan. I'm thinking we're in this kind of bullish cipher at the moment. And potentially the trade, even though I had it planned for that swing failure, let me bring it back up. Potentially it's actually further down here. Why is it further down? Because I think you just get people really bearish. You don't swing failure this pivot. People get really bearish. They'll start shorting here. But actually what they're doing is they're just shorting into a back test of these levels, of these fib levels. Yeah. It didn't offer much resistance on the way up. It did a little bit, you see, resistance, and then it went through. So potentially you will come back. We will come back just to test it, because we haven't really tested it. There hasn't really been a test, and fib levels like to be tested. Yeah. And you will get people bearish. People will short the lows because you've lost that SFP level. And then you can squeeze them up, and then as soon as you get back above that SFP level here, the longs will pile in, and that's your completed cipher. And actually that cipher does look good. It does look quite good. It would be this one here. See that? And it kind of looks symmetrical. Well done. Did I have it to the top? That's to the top there. Which pivot do you use? Not sure. That's the highest one. That's the highest one. Okay. Use the pivot, which is the highest one. Maybe even just there. We have to see what happens to the C. What are the fib markings on the cipher? I hate these fib markings because it's a range, isn't it? It's saying between 382 and 886. And this one is saying between 127 and 1 point, yeah, so that's correct. This one is correct. It's almost correct, actually. To be correct, perfect, it would have to be lower. 786. Be slightly lower. This would be perfect to be down here, but I don't think it really matters. 618. That's not a 618. It's almost good. Sushan is asking, did you notice that Bitcoin always comes to its wicks? Yeah, always. Yeah, the wicks feel. We know that. That's one thing we know. Wicks fill eventually. Yeah. Man cave. Welcome. Good morning. I have a long on Ethereum. 25x. Fuck, you're rich. Buy some TRVL. From 3,250. Wondering should close it. I'll have a look for you, mate. Let me finish this and then I'll go straight to ETH. So this is my idea, okay? My idea is this. And it's just an idea. Anything can happen. This is crypto. It's about, we're about to hold this SR flip for a long. You have a really easy long, have a slightly wider invalidation, but you don't really want to come back down underneath this SR flip. There's a possible long there. I'm gonna add to my long now as the 4 hour closes. Okay, I'm already in a long. I took profit, but I'm just gonna re-add it a little bit. I'm gonna put a little bit back in. We're into resistance, but we're also above support, and this is the key support that I'm interested in, this SR flip. As long as we hold it, we should go up. There is some kind of inverse head and shoulders here. See that? And what I'm thinking is we go up and people see the inverse head and shoulders and they get really bullish and start pumping it. Pump, 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 pump. And somewhere, I don't know where, we hit resistance and then we have a fake out of this inverse head and shoulders. But that being said, I have this cipher idea. I don't know if the cipher is going to work, to be honest with you, because the timings don't really match. You kind of only need to go up there by Thursday. It kind of has to be balanced as well. So maybe this is more realistic. A failed auction. These bullish M's, none of the C's take the A. So you make a lower high. So whether we pump up, range here for a little bit, and then head down again. And just fail to get up past this area. Go down again. That will be your B. So you're looking at, this is what I'm looking at. This is the A, this is the B. This is the A, this is the B, and then you have a C. And then you have a long trade down here. This is your long. This is your swing long. Sometime in April. Beginning of April. If this doesn't pan out, then you're probably looking for something else. Obviously, this is just an idea. It's not going to happen just because I drew it. It's just an idea of what would make sense in the context of everything. I'm gonna hide this now. Cipher harmonic. Okay. Okay, the 12-hour clock has just chimed. So I'm gonna just add to my long, very small, just a little bit, just to, I like to scale in, ladder in at limit if I can. There you go. So I just or and this is the or, there's always an or, we don't hold this line, we just fall back under and we're just heading lower now, and then we come back up, and this just continues, this correction just continues because there just isn't enough strength to take it further. I think if you kind of get underneath this shoulder, I don't see that we're going to have another swing failure here. I think it's probably going to go down for this lower one here. So you could potentially look for a swing failure of this low here. But then you'd have to take profit at that because it could just do that. There's an SFP there. And maybe a short, but I don't like shorting as the price is really extended to the downside so much. I don't like that. I'd prefer to long. I'd be looking for longs, not shorts. This could make sense as well because you come into the previous range val. We'd be losing the value area low, so just to take the SFP and just take profit at the value area low. If you get a reaction for an SFP there, there's not really much distance, so it'd be a very quick scalp. But then in that case, this SFP would be the one, and so then that would be kind of higher up. All right. So we're at a very interesting area of decisiveness now. We're above this SR flip. We're underneath this previous range value area high. We're in a bit of a tight place. As long as we're holding this SR flip, you're going to start seeing longs continue to enter. Let me have a look at the order flow on XO charts to see if I see anything interesting. See that there's bullish divergence, CVD divergence here. As the price made a higher low, the CVD made a lower low. So that's good to see. You see that there's some absorption in the price. That's what you want to see. Yeah, that's okay. That gives me confidence to long because we're seeing bullish CVD. And I see that taking a long and the price is now going up. That's good to see. All right. So let's see how far this continues. I wouldn't mind this inverse head and shoulders breaking out to the upside, and then I wouldn't mind a failed pattern to complete my harmonic idea that I have. Where did I put it? This one. Something like that would be very nice. All right. So let's see. I'm going to send this to David. Right. That's Bitcoin. Any questions on Bitcoin? No questions? Okay. If there are no questions, I'm going to move on to have a look at Man Cave's question, which is he has a 25x from 3,250 on ETH and wondering if he should close it. Well, the first challenge is finding ETH. It's amazing, huh? Look at ETH. It came in perfectly to my mid channel here at 4,000. See that? How amazing is that? And there's a reaction off that mid channel. So I've got this historic channel on the higher time frame on the log chart going all the way back to 2017. You can clearly see that you've had reactions on the bottom here, here, on the top, reaction, and on the midpoint, reaction, front run, a little reaction there. It's a few reactions. So it looks like this channel is in play, and lo and behold, look at that reaction. So that just gives you context of where we are. I'm not saying it's going to zero. I'm just saying that we've had a reaction. Okay. Looking at the higher time frame, candles, you had a really nice strong monthly candle, very strong, closed above the previous monthly level. You entered at this monthly level, so you entered on support effectively. 3,282. This is the index, so obviously on every exchange it's going to be slightly different. So you entered a 25x, 3,250. That's a good entry. It's holding, huh? Hold, lost it, back test. If it holds, it will go up. It's holding at the moment. Let me see if there's an invalidation. I mean, you don't really want the price to go down now, do you? And take out these lows. That wouldn't look great. But at the moment you're holding support. What you want to see is very similar to Bitcoin. This, you can see the pattern is very similar. I've got the same pattern in Bitcoin. You have this kind of interesting shape going on. If it breaks up, it might, with the same as Bitcoin, it might do exactly the same as Bitcoin. Whatever Bitcoin's doing, it looks the same as Bitcoin at the moment. It's just obviously smaller market cap, so the moves have more percentage gains. So yeah, I mean, look, this is the monthly level. We're on support right now. Probably the highest exchange. Let me have a look at Binance. Probably that's going to be the best way to do this. ETH. Binance has the most volume. I want perpetuals though. Binance and Bybit. Binance and Bybit. Probably should be charting on Binance then, or Bybit. I'll do it on Bybit because I use Bybit. So let me just add if I don't know why these don't list this correctly. Perpetual contract, that's the one. I've got it. Where is it then? Oh, that's Binance. That's fine. So different channels here, very different ideas. For ETH, see, I had it going up from 2000, but I'm not in ETH, I'm in alts. So, so the level of interest right now for you is this monthly level. Okay, so you can just mark that off. That's kind of where it's holding at the moment. And then if we do, let me get rid of all of this data. If we just have a look at the volume, we're clearly lost above the value area, so that's irrelevant. Let's have a look at this volume here in the previously when it was at these highs. Okay, so look, so you see here there's a volume area from the previous bull market when it was in the highs, and the monthly level corresponds with this previous range value area high. So you have a little bit of you have a little bit of confluence there. See that right on the monthly level? I won't mark it off because it's fine. So you have a little bit of confluence there for support, and that level has to hold really if we want continuation. So it's coming back into support. You bought on support. I would never necessarily just buy on support, but there's something else that's happening here. Is you have a look, you have this previous level here, pivot, and you lost it, and now you're back above it, and now you're back testing it. So you have a few things going on here, which makes me think that this is good. It was a good price to buy. There's a little bit of resistance above us at about 3,428. I mean, technically your stop loss would be here underneath there. Basically, that's your trade. But you could be stopped up and the price stopped out, and the price could easily just do that. That's the problem. So these are better invalidations, but it's quite far. That's the problem. So basically, you'll be stopped out at break even if it's underneath this wick here, and that's underneath this monthly level, underneath the value area high. But the problem is this range, the value area is a little bit lower. What else is there that I can do for you? Just see. Yeah, you see the golden pocket is down here. Value area low, golden pocket, and you have a level there, a daily level. That's the best entry for ETH. You see here at about 3,184, thereabouts, somewhere there. And if we don't go up now, then it is possible we go down. Yeah, so we have to go up now. That's the thing that I'm saying. Like, with the way the price is forming, we need to go up. If you want, if this inverse head and shoulders is to play out, this is the right shoulder, we have to go up. Yeah, otherwise you'll just kind of go right back down like that. And we'll know, because of the point of control on ETH is in the way, and it's reacting as an SR flip, support, potentially resistance. And if you go up, you need to go support and go up. Let me have a look at ETH BTC. So ETH BTC is coming back into this local value area low, and potentially we've completed a bullish, bearish harmonic. Was that bullish? No, that's a bullish harmonic. See, it's an M. So we've had a reaction from the pivot, which was a swing failure of this pivot here. And I think I had that trade actually. Yeah, you see, I had the trade plan ages ago for ETH BTC. Let me hide that now. Just these. I mean, ETH BTC is at support or coming into support. It's in the lows of the range, but for ETH BTC to show strength, it needs to get back above this point of control. It needs to get up. It needs to get up there and attack the highs of the range, which is the VAH, the value area high here. That's what it needs to do. And it's probably just like ETH BTC is probably just range bound. The other thing I have on ETH BTC is a diamond idea. So let me find it. That's it. Well, if you're sitting on good profits, you don't have to close it. You can just take profit. You can just reduce your size of your position. So you are taking it. Basically, it improves your entry. If you cut your position by half, then it improves your position by 2 times the distance. So you don't have to be like, if you're not sure, it's always good to just scale down your position, especially if you're in profit. Okay, and especially if you're highly leveraged, like you took your gamble, really, didn't you? Name, can you please do an in-depth Elliott wave count on VAI and potential different wave counts? All right, I can have a look at that for you. So I have this diamond idea. Okay, I just kind of imagined a diamond. I did this a long time ago, and it's kind of playing out. So if this diamond idea is correct, then really we should be going up now. Yeah, we should be heading up and attacking the highs of this diamond. Okay, wherever it is, and eventually we'll go down, and then maybe we'll break out to the upside. And the reason why I'm thinking to the upside is because we came in from the top, so hopefully we'll leave from the top too, as long as we don't get invalidated. And so this really, you can't go underneath this pivot here. That would look really bad to go down like that. That wouldn't look good. I think now the price needs to kind of work its way up, and then it will go down again, and then maybe then we'll start breaking out. Who knows when? Maybe after BTC gets past the all-time high. Or the alternative is you have a fake out. You get a little alt pump, and then it just goes all the way back into BTC. And so you invalidate your diamond idea, and it effectively just forms a new pattern. It could be some kind of bear flag. You can get exactly the same thing. You could go down and invalidate the bear flag. So people who are pattern trading don't realize that once one pattern fails, it can actually form another pattern, and it just invalidates the original idea that you had, which is the first pattern. Not all patterns are basically ideas. You can't necessarily trade them unless you have really good risk versus reward and good entries, and you have really good risk management. I'm not thinking down on ETH. I'm thinking up, and I'm thinking up on BTC. Yeah, it doesn't look, to me, it doesn't look like it wants to go down right now. The golden pocket lies with the local value area low. Could we come down into that little area and then start going back up? Probably, it's possible. How would that reflect on ETH? Well, I think it's all about Bitcoin now. So when I'm looking at Bitcoin, if Bitcoin's going up, is Bitcoin going up? It's trying to. It's trying to go up. And sometimes the value comes in from ETH to push Bitcoin up. So then you also, I also kind of look at ETH BTC and see what that's happening there. And look at that rejection from the value area high. Probably heading back down to the point of control. Oh, the point of control is now in the highs. Okay, so that's actually really good. So do you see what just happened? So the previous range pool, where was it? You see? So 2 days ago, the point of control was down here. And now that I update the point of control, the point of control is in the highs. So that's actually quite bearish for Bitcoin dominance, for that, for the point of control to move to the highs of the local range, because now you have resistance, strong resistance at the highs of this local range. It's quite bearish for BTC dominance to do that. So now I'm just thinking to myself, well, Bitcoin dominance is probably heading down, whether it gets to the lows here or whether it goes further down. It's actually quite, it means you put a lot of volume is coming to ETH as this percentage, it was in the highs of this local range. Okay, so actually I'm thinking that you're possibly in not bad, not in a bad shape. Okay, so you could potentially, what I would think of doing is having like a push your stop loss up to this 4-hour candle wick, so you'll close out in profit, and then you could trail the price and see how far it goes rather than just closing out. And if we get a push up now, then you can just move, you can move your stop loss. You could just go on the 4-hour time frame. If we are starting to go up now, if this pushes up, then you can now say, okay, my stop loss is there now, and then see what happens. And then if we go up, then you can move your stop loss there. Okay, and as you see the price create structure and then move up, you can just slowly move your stop loss above. Like 4-hour structure is quite nice, especially if we start making higher lows. I think right now you could just potentially, you could just have a really tight invalidation here underneath 4-hour candle and see what happens. And just have an eye on it. And then if you're worried that you're over leveraged, just take a little bit of the profit and kind of just give yourself some peace of mind. That profit means that your entry is wider, because it means you've taken profit. So it means that you had a better entry. So that my thoughts are we do break this head and shoulders pattern and then fail it. And that's what I'm thinking, but I don't know how it's going to look like if we break out and then come right back down. I don't know what it's going to look like. And for sure, if we do start going up and you are still in your position, just remember the key areas to take your big profit. The golden pocket, combine that with the volume area, this is the dollar index, so you're probably better to look at Binance. Let me have a look at Binance. Go back down and go back to Binance. I can find it. What the hell? What's this shit? I've got some interesting stuff from here. Good stuff. Yeah, there's resistance at 3554. 3554. I think that's where I would be looking to take profit, to be honest with you. At that 50% mark, if we get up there, I wouldn't even wait for the golden pocket. It could if it goes up, it could fake out. It could fake out. The golden pocket's always the best place, but just looking at this, you have the value area high lined up with the 50% on this rate, on this fib pool. That would be a very nice place to take profit. Let me just see. Let's change that. See what the data is. Okay, that's fine. Does that still line up? It's slightly lower. I think it's because one is 68 and one is 70. Let me see what 70 says. Is it high? Yeah. 70. Okay. Nice. Look, you see on Binance, we're above the point of control now. So that's good on this local range, just this whole range. That's kind of where you want to be. And so that's above your position. So you're in a good position actually, because your entry is underneath the point of control, and we're now trading above the point of control. Oh, this is Bybit. That's fine. Bybit, that's fine. I think somewhere here is going to be a good place to take profit. If we get up there. And you obviously have these kind of this 382 to get through as well. You see these fib lines? They're very relevant. So if you are trading, you know, the price does respect fib. The price, you see, it respects fib. So it does respect it. But I would like us to go up, actually. Oh, you see now this is saying the point of control is higher up. It's interesting because on the daily time frame the point of control was lower, but on the 4 hour, oh yeah, okay, because the daily didn't take into consideration today's data. So that tells me there's a lot of data, and if you want to front run it because you just want to just be safe, then you've got this high volume node here, which was the previous point of control. Okay. And then you can be safe, because usually these high volume nodes do see reactions, but for sure if the price starts getting up there, then you probably will want to take profit. Something like that. All right, yeah, you're looking at the Binance. I could have had a look at the Binance chart, but probably Binance is better because it's got more volume. Then the other thing I can do is I can have a look at XO charts for you. I can change this to Binance somewhere. I'm not sure which one. Binance futures or linear main? Probably linear. What's the volume like? It's not much, huh? Oh, that's the 1 minute. Let me have a look at the 5 minute. Let me just have a look. It's all about the volume. when you look at this stuff. I can tell you that there's bullish divergence on this chart. It's very easy to see. You've got the CVDs going down, making lower lows, and you've got the price making higher lows. Okay, this is on Binance. Oh, that's ETC. Fuck, what an idiot. Let's try ETH. Probably the same thing. Now you see on ETH it's different. Amazing, huh? No, it's not the same. Sorry, apologies. I kind of got your hopes up. But the volume here is pretty poor. Let me go to Bybit. That's better. You've got more volume. Okay, so actually on Bybit we are seeing bearish divergence. It's the reverse. You see how the price, the CVD is going up and the price isn't. So you're getting some absorption for buying here right now. All right, just bear that in mind. It's very bearish, actually, bearish CVD. That can be invalidated. The way it can be invalidated is if the price does break these local highs and make a higher high here. Okay, otherwise this bearish CVD is actually in play, because it means that the price is just being absorbed by limit sales. All right, so we are seeing absorption now. I'm also seeing how we have a decline in open interest. Price goes down, open interest goes down. That means longs are closing here. There's a bit of longing here. Some people were longing here, and then they closed. They closed because the price, they got trapped. Where's my liquidation bubbles? There aren't many liquidations here. There's a few up there. Let me zoom in a bit. Longs closing, longs closing, longs opening. Longs closing. Shorts closing, longs closing, shorts closing. Longs opening, shorts closing, shorts closing, shorts entering. Someone shorted there and then they closed. As it was coming back down, they shorted and then they closed it, which pulled the price up. There was some shorting here. This is bullish divergence here. So you see here how you made a lower low on the price. Then here you made a higher low here. But here the CVD went lower. So on the slightly higher time frame, the medium time frame, you've got bullish divergence, yeah? So you've got higher time frame, bullish absorption. You see how you're making higher lows on the price. And you see how on the CVD it's going down. So what's happening is that the selling is being absorbed by large limit orders that are absorbing the price and preventing the price from going down. We're getting a little bit of local bearish divergence, but on the higher time frame, it's looking quite bullish. Okay, and then the other thing to bear in mind, your entry was 3280. So that's the previous day value area low that was there, no? 3280. Yeah. So your entry is a really good place right there. Don't know how you got that. It's a really good entry. And I think the first sign of weakness would be losing this daily open. Yeah. So you see here, daily open 3338, and then you have the monthly open, but I think the daily open is relevant. You just don't want the price to start coming back down underneath the daily open now. You want the price to stay above it. Yeah. So if it comes back down, the daily open should offer support. But the minute you lose it and flip it into resistance, then it's going to look bearish. Okay. So just keep that in mind. And if you start seeing weakness, then you can just cut your long and wait for lower, or wait for a sign of strength, or wait for lower. Okay. So that's kind of my overview of ETH. I think as long as BTC is looking good, look, we are going up again. I'm in a long on BTC right now. Yeah, look, BTC is going up. So we held that support line, and the price is now starting to move up a little bit. We have to see what happens, because I think once we could move up fast, because it went down fast here, and then you just have to see what happens when we take this high. Does it swing failure, or do we get a squeeze? And I would like to see a squeeze. I'd really like to see a squeeze, because I want the alts to pump. I want the alts to pump. That's what I want. I don't care about Bitcoin. All right, that's my overview of Bitcoin and ETH. This is nice on ETH BTC. You see how the price has come underneath the previous day low, and it's now back above it. So in effect, it's trying to swing failure the previous day low. Yeah, that's what's happening on ETH BTC. So potentially this could now, if Bitcoin starts moving up, this could move up, and you have this really nice drop. So, you know, this could easily move up nicely up to there. That's kind of potentially what's happening now. You have a little bit of a rounding bottom here as well. A little bit. So there are some bullish signs, okay? All right, Name wanted me to have a look at some things. Void. I really want BTC to go up, because I want Slurf to go up. I'm interested in Slurf. But I'll have a look at Void first. Void. I think I'm going to take a 5-minute break. What time is it? Oh God, it's almost lunchtime. No, let me just go straight into Void, and then I'll take a lunch break, because I want to continue streaming. God, look at that Slurf. What annoying. It's so annoying. Let's see where the volume is. Okay, so we're at the volume. This is Bybit perpetuals. We're at the volume area low. The value area low. Swing failure this pivot. Okay, go up now. Get up to the point of control so I can take profit. Let me mark these. Let me mark these as well. High. Wait, control. Perfect. And then we have our 5 waves. I'll show you the 5 waves. One, two, Should 5 waves. Or maybe there. It's kind of like that. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, A, B, C, something. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's like an A, B, C. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's your 5 waves there. And now we're into correction. Some really annoying correction because I want it to go up. But that's fine. The longer it goes and the further lower it goes, the more bullish it becomes. We have a bit of a outer trend line. Oh, interesting. This outer trend line has kind of broken and lost it, broken, and now we're back above it again. I don't know if that's correct because these wicks are quite hard to know. Let me just check to see what the all-time high on Slurf is. We mark that as well. 130 and then this number below. So is that correct? No, it's not correct. That's the all-time high. So actually we're not. You see that? You see how when you have the correct figures, you realize that actually we're not above that trend line. Let's put the all-time low somewhere down here. Okay. It won't copy and paste. 3693. Okay, so slightly okay. That's the all-time low. The good thing about Slurf is we made the all-time low, then we made an all-time high. So I like the order of the way the all-time low was made first and the all-time high. That is your range effectively when it comes to Slurf. We're range bound between the all-time high and the all-time low. That's what's happening right now. Okay, it's very simple what's happening. We're just range bound. Okay, we have our Elliott Wave count, which I think it's right. I'm not 100%, but who knows? It looks okay. And then obviously what I'm going to do, what I always do, is I do a fib pull from the all-time low to the all-time high. And what you can see right now is we lost the value area low, we lost the golden pocket, and now we're trying to get back in. Okay, so until we do, it's bearish, but once we do, it's going to become bullish. You wouldn't short any if it was bearish here because we're at the lows, but what you're looking for is longs. There is a long that's to be had. It's this swing failure here. Okay, but you could easily get invalidated with that long. Price could easily do that and then do that. Could easily do that. Okay, so it's not, so you need a good risk management if you're in a long here. Let me try something as well. Let me just try take it to the buy bit high. Let's see if there's any difference. It's pretty, it's not correct. That's correct. So where did the correction end? There. Okay. So for this wave one to be valid, you can't make a new low. That would invalidate this count. Okay. And it would be very bearish. To make an all-time low, go to the all-time high and then back to an all-time low. Really bearish. Like, it would be very bearish for that to happen, because then you're in bearish market structure, and that's not what you want. And right now the market structure is a coin flip, because it depends on the direction of travel. You expect the direct, because of the bull market, you expect us to be making a low to somehow finally go and attack the highs. That's what you're expecting. And that would be bullish market structure. So at the moment where it's a coin flip on market structure, we've made a low, we've made a high. And I think the weakness that we're seeing is Bitcoin correcting. We had a lot of value come in, and now people are just taking their value out. That's basically what's happening. The good thing about this descent is you've got decreasing volume, decreasing prices. So it's a, relatively speaking, it's a bullish correction. You're not seeing increasing volume on the descent, you're seeing a decrease in volume. But obviously what you want to see now is for the price to come back up, back above this golden pocket, or lower, or back. I don't want to see lower. I want to see us get back above this golden pocket, back into this value area. That would be really nice to see. And then, are the fib levels being respected? Potentially, yeah. You see here, reaction here, reaction here. It kind of reacted around it. There was a reaction here. Lots of reactions, and then there's a reaction. So these fib levels are really solid right now. And so anyone who's trading this could just take it from fib to fib. And naturally, if the price was to go up, then that would be a good take profit. Maybe it'll go back down, and then maybe it can go up. Who knows? If we break this out of trend line, it's going to look quite bullish. So you might see quite a lot of volume come back into it. But the trend line's only been hit twice. So I think the next time we hit it, we'll probably react. So we may not even get up to, you know, we may fall short, especially if we take the liquidity from these highs, and you have a little bit of an SR flip going on here. The other thing you've got going on here is a kind of a different trend line here. Potentially though, you would go up, break it, reject, find support to break that one. And then you've got a nice you could probably target the value area high and take profit at the point of control. And the other thing you've got is the reverse. Got quite a lot of confluence at the point of control. That would be a big take profit. And then obviously you've got the golden pocket right at the top. So those are the key areas to take profit. the point of control and the golden pocket. So the value area and the high and the point of control. And then it will probably just go down again. Probably. And then maybe we're having like a long ABC like that. Like a really long ABC. We had this kind of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and then long ABC. And then we can have our bullish impulse, the next wave. Okay. Good, it's coming up again. Let me see that. It's pushing through. I think it's following Bitcoin. Let me have a look at Bitcoin. Nope, it's not following Bitcoin. Bitcoin is not going up. Oh, it is. What the hell? Nice. Bitcoin is going up. Nice. Nice, 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 nice. That's what I want to see. What is it at? 64806. Let's just hope that Bitcoin can carry us. All right, that's Slurf. I think it's a good place to buy because we're at the bottom of this value area low on spot. There is a trade because we've just had a swing failure here. But you are buying into resistance. You don't want to the price to now do this. So you kind of want this low to hold now. That's your invalidation. Because you have taken the liquidity from this low. So there's a swing failure there. But I think what's happening now is it's following Bitcoin. So if Bitcoin suddenly sneezes, this could potentially drop. But if Bitcoin starts to show strength, then this could potentially really rally. Okay. So it's at a really interesting place. I'm in this actually. I'm using a new strategy for Slurf. I'm seeing if how that plays out. At the moment, it's not working, but let's see. Let me put these into a group. Saturday trade. Just like that. All-time high, all-time low, and then you've got the volume levels. Got your Elliott Wave count. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Let me just count this as well. I just want to count this. 1, 2, 3. What the hell? 1, 2. This is quite a big sell-off. Don't know. It's not easy to see actually. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. ABC. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Nightmare. Literally a nightmare. It's a nightmare to figure out this. It's like, who knows? It's basically a really irregular correction, and I think this outer line is a line of interest. I think once you break it somehow, then we could be going back up to the highs of this range. Maybe that's the correction, or maybe this is the next impulse. Who knows? Potentially it will be impulsive. Potentially that will be the impulse, like the next wave, the wave 1 of the 3. Then you have a nice correction. That's what I'm thinking right now. I'm thinking this is the ABC somehow, some corrective move. That was a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. As long as we don't make a new low, then this is corrective, and then we just have to impulse out of here. I don't think this is, I think this is the correction, the full correction. We just have to see where it turns. Eventually you have to break that line, that outer line. You know, whether it happens now or whether we just continue, we go up and reject and continue. That'll be depending on Bitcoin. Okay, that's my slurf update. Let me just see if there's anything else going on. Let me have a look at the higher time frame. Impulsive, corrective. That's what I'm seeing. Impulsive, corrective. It doesn't look bad actually. Like, for me, that's not bearish. It's just range bound behavior. Go up, go down, go up, go down. We do want this to go up now, but so if it doesn't, then this needs to just close up. And I think the other line that's probably quite important is this top of this. There's a little bit of an SR flip going on there. How does that work with the volume levels? It doesn't. You see, like, so if we go up now on the next 4 hours, we hit that level 6472 at the top, then that's probably gonna not be happy about that, because you're coming into like an SR flip and this trend line. And maybe we're going to see a deeper correction with this is possible. And that would be all the way down, probably down to this level, 48 cents. That's really the level of interest, is 786. And obviously the best level is going to be down here at 42 cents. It's like, that's your best area of to buy. 42 cents, but I think it's possible it goes down and it goes back to this one, 48 cents. Just gets everyone dumping and then the price will reverse. But right now it's looking quite good, so maybe we go up to 64 cents and then it'll be a good place to take profit on anyone's trade. Okay, and you see this trade is actually working right now before our eyes. I'm in this. Got a bit of volume coming in, the price is going up, so it's not too bad at the moment. I would love to kind of take my profit up here, but by this afternoon or later on, somewhere there. Bitcoin. So Bitcoin is oh god, it's so messy now. I mean, we're still holding support. We've just taken the liquidity from these candles. Let me just clear all of that rubbish now. Right. Yeah, you're getting a reaction on this previous range, V8 value area high. ETH's pulling back as well. See, they're following each other. Let me have a look at Bitcoin again. These are longs closing, longs opening, a few shorts coming in now. Yeah, not much. There's a few shorts coming in. They're shorting into support, so not the best place to short. But the reason why these people are shorting is because technically you've had a swing failure of these highs. Technically, that's why they're shorting. They have an invalidation. It's this local pivot that's put in, but you're shorting into support, straight into support. So as long as the price holds here, then the buyers will enter, because the buyers like to buy red candles. So they just wait for the selling to end, wait for the red candles to print. And once you see that the candles failed to go lower than your area of interest, your level of interest, then you can just buy that, because you have an easy invalidation, which is just underneath this line and underneath these lows, which is see that? So some longs came in. Now the price is longs closed to profit. Some shorts are entering, but at the moment it's actually trying to go up. That's what it looks like it to me. So we just have to see how this is going to be quite a slow weekend. That's what I think. So maybe some alts will pump. I want Slurf to pump. Yes. Pump, pump, pump. Pump to the moon. Pump, 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 pump. Let's pump this bad boy. Okay. I have a few viewers. Any questions so far? Right. You want me to do Void, huh? And I haven't done TRVL yet either. What was the question on Void? Can you please do an in-depth, oh my god, Elliott wave count on Void and potential different wave counts? First challenge is finding Void. I can't find it. Then what? Must be here somewhere. Yeah, I've got it. think this is correct. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That was the 2. ABC. 1. That was an extended flat. 1. ABC. So the 2 is complete there. I updated this already. And then you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. So we completed our wave 3. But that's not necessarily wave 3 complete. That's just wave 1 of 3. Okay. This is your wave 1. We've had our wave 2, and this is probably the wave 1 of 3. And now we're in the 2 of 3. Okay. That's what I think. So let me change the color so it's not confusing. Okay. And actually you've got the 3 going much further, because you would expect the 3 to be more bullish than the 1. Or at the very least some kind of 1-to-1. Okay. So you have your 1, 2, 3, 4, and we're looking for a 5 to complete 3. So we're still in the wave 3, but we're correcting on the 4 for the next push up. And then you have the higher time frame 4, and then you have the wave 5. Okay. Now the rules of Elliott waves are, so you've created your 1, you've created your 2, we're in the 3, the 4 must not come underneath the top of the 1, which is here. So whenever we have the 4, it cannot, it doesn't allow, Elliott waves doesn't allow you to have the 4 come underneath the 1. So that has to hold a support. And then you can have a 5. The other rule, which is really important, is that the 3 cannot be the shortest. Okay. It cannot be the shortest. It can be the biggest, or it can be the second biggest, but it cannot be the shortest. So as long as this wave 3 is not shorter than this 1, then the 5 can be bigger. If the wave 3 suddenly is shorter than the 1, then the wave 5 is going to be the shortest. Okay, that's how it works. I didn't make it up. It's just, I'm just repeating what I've learned and seen. Oh shit, why did I get rid of those? I don't want to get rid of those. What's that, Ray? That's the previous. Let me just change the color so I can see it clearly. That's your SR flip. Let me get rid of that one. I don't think it's relevant. So that I had this kind of idea. You see, price goes up, comes back down, goes up again. So I think we're having an ABC here, and this is our wave 4. That's what it looks like to me. And we are holding support. You see, we're holding support. Now, it looks bearish, but decreasing volume, decreasing prices, holding support. It's not bearish. This is a bullish correction, and potentially it's some kind of flat correction because we're holding support. As long as you hold support, that's fine. If you lose support, it doesn't mean anything. You're still correcting. It just means you might have something much deeper like that. Okay. That would be perfectly acceptable as long as you don't come underneath the 1. See? So you have a line in the sand here. Is that the top? I don't think that's the top, because it's not, I mean, it's quite subjective. Could that be the top, or is this the top? I kind of see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here, and then you have this kind of flat correction, extended flat, like A, B, C for the next impulse. But you know, I could be wrong. Maybe that is the top, and the 2. How will I? Where's the 2? Still back down to here. Yeah. In any case, if we do go down and lose that SR flip, I think it'd be hard. It'd require a little bit of strength to reclaim it. So that's why I think maybe this is more correct. And you have this kind of sell-off, only to come back into the top of this this basically the launch price. Yeah, that's an if. I'm not saying it's going to happen, because right now we're holding support. So as long as you're holding support, you could just have a flat correction up here. And looking at this, you've had a flat correction before. We've had a flat correction before. Why not another flat correction? So you've had a flat correction. It's not it's not inordinary. It's not unordinary. It's not unusual to have a flat correction with this token. Yeah, because you've had one before, like an extended flat here. You don't really have deep token corrections. Like even that's quite flat. It's not flat, but it's quite, it's not crazy deep in the scheme of things. So I am thinking this is kind of possible. And if we do hold support, it's going to be kind of touch and hit and miss when Bitcoin really corrects. Do you just fake out here? Just a little fake out. Take the lows here, just to kind of get back above it and go. Just to get people to dump their tokens, but actually people are buying, who are seeing this kind of corrective behavior. And does it have to go to May? No, it could be much earlier. It could be like this. You know, who knows? Or you could have it could be like that, like you had before here. Or it doesn't have to go up with Bitcoin. It could just be correcting with Bitcoin. Who knows? Like, it's something going on here. But I think, in my view, is that you don't want to lose this SR flip. I just don't think it'll look good. You'll go much lower if you lose that. You're probably heading for the launch price. If you lose that, it would still be fine. Gonna get rid of all of these ones now from the past. Not necessarily. Amazing, I had that long trade from down here and should have taken it. I'm sure some people took it. So I had the idea of what we needed to do once we got above that line, and look, it's doing one of these last two now. It will either kind of go like this and go down, or it's going to kind of go like this and go up. And so you're in those kind of two ideas. Get rid of that. All of these lines are relevant. Same position. See another along there. Okay. Let me just hide these into Elliott's. You want more depth than that? Are you still here, Man Cave? I wouldn't mind if the price was able to clear this liquidity, you know, that'll make it easier to go up, because you still have some trap liquidity which hasn't been cleared. It's, you've come all the way up to the point of control, but there's still some trapped liquidity there. And I wouldn't mind actually if we clear the liquidity from all of these highs here to come back down, another test for a move up. That would be quite nice. To see that would be really nice, and then people will take profit and then they'll just put right back in at that SR flip. They for sure would do that. If the price now suddenly went up, I can imagine a lot of people would be taking profit. Oh, it wasn't Man Cave. It was Name. Sorry. I'm so confused. It was Name who was asking me, not Man Cave. It's looking okay at the moment, and I think that's because Bitcoin is holding. The minute Bitcoin starts doing something else, then you will see a sell-off, and that's normal. And then you're just looking at another, like a much deeper correction. But at the moment, as long as Bitcoin doesn't really go down deep, then this is actually just pretty much holding its flight path. You can see that the down move now has decreasing volume. Yeah, decreasing volume, which is quite good to see. I can tell you for a fact that I'm seeing bullish divergences on my CCI indicator here. Why? Ask me why. Well, the reason why is because we're right at the bottom at minus 100, which acts as a support level. It's kind of underneath it, but it doesn't matter. It's kind of there. And the price is way up there. The price hasn't followed the CCI. So this has come all the way down to the bottom, and the price is still at the top. You know, when you consider that this went from the bottom to the top, bottom to the top. So if this comes down to the bottom, it should come down to there to follow the same path. But actually, you see the CCI is at the bottom, the price is still at the top. So you're seeing hidden bullish divergences, which means there's absorption happening here. People are limit longing here, holding, accumulating. It's like a reaccumulation area here. That's on a daily time frame. Again, on the local time frame, I can see some bullish divergences on the MACD as well. 12-hour, you see you're making lower lows on the MACD, you're making higher highs on the price. Same thing here. You see on the MACD, you're making lower lows here, higher lows there. It's hidden bullish divergence. It just tells you that there's absorption happening here. People are accumulating. Have a look at the weekly time frame. Yeah, you just want to hold that SR flip now. That's really bullish if you hold that. And then in terms of you were talking about potential targets. Well, let me just try and figure this out. The easiest way to do targets, the brainless way, is just to that's interesting. We're in the golden pocket as well. So we're in the golden pocket. We're kind of holding the lower. So there's a really strong level here. The 618 aligned with the SR flip. If this holds, that's really bullish, because you're just back testing the 618 and then it would be nice, like I was saying, to go and clear these these highs here now, and come back in for one more test. For like another extended correction. It might not happen, but for sure there's going to be a little bit of resistance. These fib levels are reacting, yeah. So it's good. These are good areas to buy and sell on the higher time frame. You do a log on the log scale, do a fib from the all-time high to the all-time low, and then as the price is going up, there's reactions at these levels. Okay, it's a very easy way to trade. And then the easy way to do the extension, which I've done in the past, would be the 1272, which is $22. It's a lot, huh? If it went from 28 cents to 20 do the $2, you're talking about nearly 100x from where we are now, like 90x or something. And the way to that'll be easy way to do a target. Does it have to go there? Probably no. What you would do, you do a trend-based fib and see if you can find some kind of confluence. So you see we've come to the 618 here in this trend-based fib. If this was our 1, this was our 2, we come to the 618. And I think for this wave, we want to get past the 1, so to the all-time high, basically. I think if you get to the 1, you're going to the all-time high. So if I do bring my not all the fib counts, which is the one I want to do, the big one, yeah, this one. So then you've got potentially going up to the all-time high, and then this corrective one, and I don't know how long that's going to take. Who knows? This is going to be important. So the question is this: if you overshoot the all-time high, then the 4 can nicely backtest the all-time high for continuation. And if you reject from the all-time high, then the 4 could come all the way back to the 1. So the all-time high will need to flip. It will need to flip as a support and resistance into support. And it's just hard to know whether we're going to see what kind of reaction you're going to see at the all-time high. If you take the all-time high, then that's a higher high, and potentially it could pump more. But I think a 1-to-1 would be pretty it depends on the impulse, you know. So anyway, that's an idea from here to here to here. Let me do something else as well. I can do an inverse, an extension from here to here. Nope, that doesn't help. It'll be nice to see how far this 3 gets. Hypothetically, if the 3 just gets to this all-time high, yeah. I mean, it depends. Like, we have to see what happens. I don't know. I don't. It's going to be really the further we go in, the easier it will become. Yeah. Right now, it's just guessing. It's just guesswork. Just based on this 0 to 1 to 2. You've got your trend-based fib and you've got your levels, and you can see that it was front one here, but you see, and that's because of the point of control here, but you see that was a good place for the price to react. The 6-1, it actually got close, but not as high. It was here, it's 51 cents. It got as high as 48 cents. The reason why is because there was confluence, and it was this trapped volume that was here, which is why it reacted like that. A little bit of a front run. Okay. But if you know, potentially, it depends on this full correction. And the problem is going to be Bitcoin, because I'm just imagining that Bitcoin goes up. So let's say Bitcoin goes up to 100k and then corrects all the way back down to 70k. Yeah, that's going to destroy the alts, and so you could see a very deep correction. That's a deep correction. It's because I'm using the log scale. It doesn't look deep, but you're basically going down 86%. Yeah, that's quite a deep correction. Just go, maybe it will come back to there, and it all depends on Bitcoin. That's a 92% correction. That's quite a lot. And so I think Bitcoin is going to have a large impact on what happens. And see, right now we're still under the all-time high and we're pre-halving. So the corrections aren't very deep. Once we pump into higher numbers, and so from here to the all-time high, you're at 10x. So that's quite a lot of increase in value for most people. And that's why you see deep corrections. And the only way to overcome that is to put in large volume higher up. And so right now, when I'm looking at the overall volume, there isn't really much volume, and that's potentially a concern. Most of the volume was down here. You need volume, because if you don't have volume, then you can get deep corrections. Yeah, because it's the volume that's going to hold the price as the price goes up. Right now we see most of the volume is down here, so unless we get like significant volume put in, then the correction, when there is a big correction, it could be deep, and that happens potentially when you have higher prices, when you get into higher prices. Okay, so just looking at the volume, I'm not crazy about the volume on this increase in value. I'm not crazy about it. I'm looking at the overall picture, the weekly picture. There is increase in volume here, so that's fine. It's good that there's an increase when the price goes up, but I'm just not crazy about the overall volume. Okay, and so most of the volume's been put into these lows. At some point in the future, these people will take profit. They will take profit. More likely than not, it will be the all-time high, and that will be a 1-to-1 on this move. If it's less than the 1-to-1, that's not good. If it's more, that's better. The reason why is because if it's less, then the wave 5 is going to be shorter. The 3 can't be the shortest. So you want the 3, it has to get to the all-time high, and that will be longer than the 1, and then the 5 could potentially be longer. And then you just have to see how the 4 corrects. Once the 4 corrects, you can do another trend-based fib, and then it'll be a lot easier to come up with higher price targets. And the way to do it is to see where you have confluence on fibs. So we have our extension from the all-time high to the all-time low. We have that. And we have this one, which is from the 0 to the 1 to the 2. as there's no confluence really. I can't see any confluence yet. There's maybe a little bit of resistance here. That's much higher up, and so we just need more data right now, and until you get it, it's going to be very difficult to come up with correct areas where the price can turn back to the downside in price discovery. Yeah, and actually in my mind I'm thinking when it in price discovery, they probably all react, but the one where the price can actually turn will be the one where you have fib levels corresponding with roughly the same value, and that's going to be based on the trend, lining up the trend with potentially with the extension. Okay, and then obviously if there are trend lines, that's going to help. So this trend line that I'm seeing here is no help whatsoever. It's no help whatsoever. Potentially you can draw a channel from these lows to the all-time high. There's no reaction on the midpoint, so it's very hard to know whether this is correct. Okay. I'm not fond of any of these, because when we're doing channels, you want to see the midpoint react. This is the best one actually. Look, let me get rid of these fib lines. So the way I drew this was from this low to this pivot low here. Let me get it correct beyond the pivot, and then from here to this pivot here, and you see the midpoint here reacts. You see that? That's what you want to see. When you draw a channel, you also want to see the midpoint react. If it doesn't react, then it's hard to know if the channel is correct. This looks good, actually. I like this. So that helps a little bit, because you can see you're expecting another reaction off the midpoint, and then if we come back down, you're expecting this bull market channel, the lower channel, to hold, and hopefully that will hold with some kind of horizontal level. And you could potentially be looking at something, who knows, that's all the way until November. I don't know when we're going to get to the all-time high. If you were to get to the next week, there would be a really strong resistance there. Maybe you overextend, who knows. But I think that channel is nice, so you could just use that and then see. And then the other thing you can do, like I showed you, a retracement. Once the 3 is put in, it'll be a lot easier to come up with some kind of targets for. We have a lot of pivots then, so we can do lots of different fib pools to see if we can get some kind of confluence in price discovery, if we get there. It's good though, it's looking okay. We're into the golden pocket here. Just need to hold 618, which is your SR flip on this pivot. You just hold that, and then you're looking for continuation. Okay, and because we have this lower trend line, if for some reason BTC does correct and this doesn't hold this support, and you have like an ABC now, which is more like a zigzag, then because you have this nice trend line, maybe it can come back into it. if this now just drops, back tests it, and then there's another drop, which is fine because it will just be coming in to test this area. Then you have a nice area. This now suddenly drops. This is an if. Then you have like an ABC like that, and then a 1-to-1 on that, or a 1-to-1 to 272. Maybe something like that. Actually, 1-to-1 would be much. It wouldn't be good. Actually, hold on. One-to-one would be overextending. Actually, this would have to go much lower. No, I don't like it. I don't like this idea at all. We'll see. I think support has to hold. Tell everyone to buy. That's all it is, really. Support holding is just people buying. That's all it is. There's not rocket science. Yeah. If people are buying here, the price won't go down. That's all it is. It's better to put limit orders as well to absorb the selling. Doesn't even matter about Bitcoin if people are buying. Actually, doesn't really matter about Bitcoin. If people are buying, who cares about Bitcoin? It just means that when Bitcoin corrects, people are buying. That's really the solution to a bullish token. And people are asking, like, why does my token go down when Bitcoin corrects? Because when Bitcoin corrects, no one is buying. Yeah. But if you have a community that is buying when Bitcoin corrects, then when Bitcoin pumps, your token goes to the moon. That's what happens. That's how it works. So it's all about buyers and sellers. That's all it is, really. It's very simple when you think about it. And we're at a good place for buying. Yeah, we're at a good place. So let's see how this plays out. I'm happy to do updates. So if you want one in the future, not every day, but I'm happy to do one because I can kind of create a video, and I like doing that. So we're still in the wave 3 right now, and you really want to get to the all-time high now with this move. We're at the key SR flip, and people should just continue buying because it doesn't really matter about Bitcoin if people are buying Voigt. Doesn't matter at all. It's actually the right place because this is where you fill your bags, because Bitcoin is correcting. People are selling their alts because they're stupid or they're panicking. And that's where you can fill your bags because you have sellers buying into support. And as long as you absorb the sellers, exhaust the sellers, when Bitcoin finally starts going up, that's when you start pumping. Because then that's when people start buying. You see, people start buying alts when Bitcoin starts going up. But if you exhaust the sellers, then when the price goes up, it goes up fast because you've exhausted the sellers. There's no more sellers. Yeah, and so when they start buying, there's no sellers and the price just keeps on going up really fast. Right? So this is quite a good test to see how strong this token is. If in the whole of Bitcoin correction, this does a really nice flat correction, I will buy some. If I see an ABC here and it's still here, I'm totally going to buy some. Are you mad? Look at this. This is great. This is fantastic. I'll probably aiming to the high, to at least to this level here, $22 from the current price. That's an ATX. That's all right, huh? ATX. I'm chucking $1,000 and walk away with 80,000. That's okay. I could totally live with that. All right, that's my Voigt update. Hope that helps. I'm gonna take a 15-minute break, and then I'm gonna do TRVL. You wanted to have a look at BTC, Duang. I've done a BTC update right at the beginning of the stream. So if you're interested, just go back to the beginning of the stream, just rewind. Oh God, so annoying. Look at that. God forsaken BTC. I hope this level holds. That's annoying. It's having it's having an impact on everything. Stupid. That's what I hate about BTC. And I think at the end of the day, at the end of the day, it's about communities creating a larger interest in their own tokens than BTC. Like, that's really what it will come down to in the future, where you have strong communities that are so bullish on a project that it doesn't even matter about BTC correcting. They're just going to continue buying, right? I'm going to take a break for lunch. 30-minute break for lunch, and then I'm going to update to update. Okay, thank you for joining me today to now. If you there's a few people here actually. If you want to go and get a lunch or something, I don't know what time zone you're in. Here it's lunchtime, and then I'll be back to do TRVL. If you don't want to hang around, that's fine, because I'm just going to cut it up into its own TRVL update. So there's no reason to hang around if you're busy. I'm still going to do it. And then if anyone who's just arrived, then you can just rewind this video and go and see the BTC update. What can I say about BTC? It has to... I want this to hold. It's holding at the moment. Look, you see that? So just as long as this holds, then we can have continuation. We took the liquidity from these highs here. So shorts are entering, which I showed you, and now we just need candles to keep on closing above this level, and then the price will start going up. Okay, so as long as it holds, then I think BTC has potential to continue going up. It looks like it's holding, but let's just see. I would prefer 4-hour time frame hold. Yeah, I don't just want to see a local time frame. If we get another 4-hour hold here like this, that would be perfect. That's what you want to see. Close. That's your profit take. And this is the sentiment before you go. Okay. Is anyone here? Probably not. That's fine. What's happening to Bitcoin? Nice. Look at that. It held. Perfect. That's what you want to see. Nice bullish. Oh, this is perfect. Look at that. Love that. That's what I wanted to see. Nice. This is good. Good news. That is on BitGet. Let me move it up. That's better. Okay. And set some limit orders. Six four 6427. 6.27. Six, 4, 7, 2. It's looking quite good there. Okay. Okay, let's just go into TRVL. So there's a few things going on here. Actually, I just want to check something else first. Just want to check something on this. Oh, that's really good. Look at that. Perfect. Mm-hmm. 6.5 6.559. Mm-hmm. So this is the weekly time frame. This is on max. You can see that there's an increasing volume on this weekly candle. when I have a look at the other exchanges, Gates, slightly increasing volume here. KuCoin, that's increasing volume. And that's a significant increase on Bybit. So we have a really strong weekly candle forming here with a buying tail, back testing a key support level on the, you can see here just about that we had a very effective back test on FIB time of a 236, and also this GAN. So many things, trend lines, like there's a lot of things that were going on here. So I was having a look at the Elliott Wave count yesterday, and I think I might have miscounted, so I redid it. Okay, and sometimes you just have to relook at stuff if you're not 100% sure, to see if your analysis is correct or not. And so my idea was this. I was thinking to myself, and I'm just going to hide these now. At the moment I'm charting on Bybit, so just in case people are curious, I do like to mix them up. I think until we get a chart with significant increase in volume on specifically one exchange, I'll just kind of use all the exchanges. I'm not really prejudiced with the exchanges of which one is better or not. At the moment they're all pretty much the same. I use Bybit, but I use Gate as well. So the question is the Elliott waves. Yeah, there's 5 waves in a bullish impulse, and there's 3 in a corrective. The 5 waves in the bullish impulsive wave are split into 3 bullish impulsive waves and 2 corrective. So each bullish impulsive wave will have 5 waves, and each corrective wave will normally have 3 waves normally. But there's other types of corrections that are possible. And as I've already explained in the past, I was thinking initially maybe this was the first wave, but the idea was not correct, because when we came up here, we came back underneath this pivot. That kind of resets that count if that was in fact some kind of wave 1, just because we came back underneath it. If that was the 2, 3, 4, if that was the 1, then you have your 2, 3, 4, that has to hold. That's kind of how you know. And because it didn't hold, it came underneath, it resets that idea, because then that wasn't valid, that was incorrect. So I've already explained that. The reason why, let me hide that for a second. The reason why this wasn't our wave 1 here, all the way up, is because when you have a 0 and you do your wave 1, then you can't, the 2 cannot come underneath the 0. If the 2 comes underneath the 0, that invalidates the wave 1, and so you have to reset the count again. So that invalidated that as being wave 1, and then this idea of this being some sort of 3 was invalidated because the 4 came underneath the 1. So those 2 ideas were not correct. And so we were still waiting. After this came underneath, I actually explained why that invalidated that idea. And then we were waiting for the first wave, wave 1. We were waiting for wave 1. Now I was thinking to myself, maybe this was wave 1 because this is quite impulsive. Okay, and that's when we were all excited because this is wave 1, and therefore this would have been our 2, and we're in our 3. However, on closer inspection, I was actually looking at where this came to fall into support. You can see it came to here, and therefore I was looking back to see did that correspond with a point, and it did. It corresponds with this one here. Thereabouts. And so something like that. So it doesn't really come underneath it, it's just coming to back test it. It's not 100% precise. Then due to the low liquidity environment, it's possible to slightly overshoot the areas where the price has to hold for a perfect count. So, you know, so in my mind I was thinking, well, maybe that is, and then that got me thinking, well, actually that's actually quite impulsive here as well. If you think about it, it's not impulsive, it's quite impulsive. So on further investigation, was looking at it basically here, and that was quite impulsive. If you see how it began, it's not terribly easy because we're talking about lower time frames. Where did it go again? There. So here, 1. Look at that. It's like a 1 ABC, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, so actually the 5 didn't end. It's actually here. So let me just draw it again. Which one was it? Not that one. So maybe actually it's still there. Maybe it's still there. Let me just zoom in a little bit. It's a bit impulsive there. 1, 2, 3. 1, so that was a 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Could that 2 be there? Yeah, that's possible too. So that's like a B, C to there, and then you have your 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's fine. That's like volume coming in, but actually, if you look at the trajectory, that's like one move. So 1, A, 1 ABC, one, 2, 3, 4, 5 ABC, and then there's like a M5. So actually it would end there. The 5 ends there. That's where the wave ends, not up there, here, because you have a weak 5. And if that was to happen, that would make sense, because this doesn't actually come down to the it's an idea. And then you have this something like that. Then you have to make some kind of sense of this. Let's try. Possible. Well, look, the key is that the 4 doesn't come underneath the 1. So if the 1 came to there, you see the 4 doesn't, so it holds. So you see that's the key. And then these, what is that wave 1? It's like, what the hell is that? It's just like 1, 1, 1 up. So this is kind of what I'm thinking at the moment, potentially. And then you have this. It's kind of ABC here. And now we're in, potentially, if this is correct, the wave 3. And we're in our wave 1 of 3, 4, 5. Sorry, my bad. Let me figure this out again. No, that's the 1. This is the 2. This is the 3, 4. So this is the 1 of 5. My apologies. How do we know if this is correct? That's the question. I'm just making this up. How do we know? Like, what's the test? Well, as long as the rules are abiding, so as long as this 4 doesn't come underneath the top of the 1, and you have the same idea within these internal bullish waves, the 4 doesn't come underneath the 1, the 4 doesn't come underneath the 1, the 3 is not the shortest, the 3 is not the shortest, the 2 doesn't come underneath the 0, then you're pretty much, it's pretty much correct. It looks correct, potentially, as long as you can see the waves. It's very hard with these kind of small market cap tokens, very illiquid, to see the waves. But would you believe it if I told you they do exist? Okay. So based on that idea, you do fib, trend-based fib, and that helps. So if I do one there to here, no, sorry, not to there, to here. So basically you do it from the 0 to the 1 to the 2, 0 to the 1 to the 2. And then what you see is how the fib extensions on the trend-based fib, how the price reacts to key levels, the key levels, okay? And based on this idea that I have, let me zoom out again because the candles, it might be easier to see the candles. So basically where we're going from this low here to where the 5 ends, not where the top is, to where the 5 ends, because sometimes you can get a M5, and the way to know where the 5 ends is to count the waves. So you can't have, you got to count basically, you got to count the waves. And then you have this ABC, and so that's where it goes. So you're going from the 0 to the 1, that's the 0, that's where the 5 ends, that's the 1, this is where the ABC ends, and that's where the 2 ends, and then you begin your 3. Okay, so you do a trend-based fib from the 0 to the 1 to the 2, and what we can see is as the price goes up, firstly you see this candle, it goes up all the way, and where does it stop? At the 1.618. I think that's quite interesting. Yeah, that's on the trend-based fib. It stops at the 1.618. You have this correction, and then what you can do is the same thing to see if you're correct, to see if you're if it's working. So 1 to the 2, 0 to the 1 to the 2 to the 3. Okay, and how far does it go? Let me just do a few, let me just add these. Yeah, you see how it goes to there? So the 3 goes from the 0 all the way to the 2.414. And when I'm looking at the way the candles are closing on the 4 hour, it looks like it's closing perfectly at the right, at kind of the right fib levels. So the fibs are correct, it looks like it. That's quite expansive. That was quite an expansive 3 to go from 0 to 2.414. That's quite a big move if you think about it. That's 100% move, 111% move. How much was this one? It's only about 39%. So we have this ABC now, and then that would suggest that this is the 5. We're in the 5 now. Okay, so this is the wave 1 of 5 right now. If this is correct, this would be the 1, that would be the 2, that would be the 3, this would be the 4. The reason why this 4 would work is because it doesn't come underneath the top of the 1. So and then we have our 5, and what you're looking for in impulsive waves or impulse. So I think this move here was quite impulsive, and I think this was impulsive, and I think this was quite impulsive, and this is quite impulsive. It's context, obviously. Its context is really important. So I'm just looking at the context of TRVL, and I'm not thinking about other tokens. I'm thinking about TRVL. All right. So based on that idea, there's some other things to consider, and that's the corrections as well, to see how far they corrected. So from here to here, have a look. Now with the corrections, you do it to the from bottom to top, not to the waves. It comes to 50%. Does it come all the way down? Not really. What about this one? How far this comes down? Came all the way down to just underneath the 786. Wow, there's the deep corrections. And two quite deep corrections. This one was very deep. So if this is the 1, this is the 2, this is the 3, this is the 4, you can just go from on a trend based okay. So the reason why I think this is working right now is because what you can clearly see in the first level, which is this 618, the price reacts, goes above it, and now it backtests it. You see how there's a reaction, and also you can see in the past it corresponds. So it looks like this. It looks like this trend-based fib is correct. You can almost ignore this one now because it's not really relevant. This is the relevant one now, or the other way you can do it is do it from the beginning. Yeah, you can do it from the beginning too. Okay, but let's not go there first. Let's just do this one first. Okay, so there's something interesting about what I've discovered in this trend-based fib, and that is that you have a perfect alignment of the 1.618 with the 50% mark on the higher time frame fib. The higher time frame is the overall time frame. What I did is I did a fib retracement from the all-time high at 1.56, not that wick, but the 1.56, to the all-time low, not this wick, to the all-time low, which is at kind of 1.95 cents. Okay, and you have a fib retracement on the log scale, and you can clearly see two things. You can see really nice alignment on the 1.618 with this 50% mark, and you can see really nice alignment with the 2.272 and this 618. And so I am thinking that if and when we break 9 cents or slightly higher at this 382, there's a really strong level at 9 cents, and there's this indicator that I use, which people I've talked about it in the past, and it's quite useful. I think if anyone is interested, they could add it. Just hide that for a second and I'll show you the indicator. Oh, I've got you here. Okay, so I've done it. I've just redone it again. That's fine. I can just delete that. It's called this one. Okay. Leave Lead-C by In Silico. It's free. You can just get it on the indicators on TradingView. And on the daily time frame, you can see that there's this kind of red line that is developing, and on Bybit it's at 9.5 cents, but actually on KuCoin, where still most of the volume is, it's at 9 cents. Okay, so, and these are called exhaustion lines. Okay, so on this chart, the red one is for buying exhaustion and the white ones are for selling exhaustion, and the higher the time frame, the more powerful these levels become. Okay, so on the daily time frame, we came into this exhaustion. It only printed when it hit it for the first time, and it hit it the second it was there, and now we're coming back into it. So eventually it will break, eventually it will flip, just like any other line. But this is an invisible line. It's an invisible line that people can't see, but bots see these lines. Now, I'm not crazy about our current market maker. I don't know what bots they're using. I don't know if their bots are smart, like most bots are. Bots should be quite smart these days because of all the AI stuff going on. But they use these lines, they use these exhaustion lines, and effectively what they're doing, what it's telling you, this indicator, is at that level, the buying is exhausted. There's no more market buying. It's finished. So it hit it once, and then once that line is in, it's your target. And it's not always like, sometimes you lose it and then it flips. It becomes like an SR flip. Becomes like an SR flip until you reclaim it, then it becomes support again. It's really good on BTC or other like higher market cap coins, but I do see it, and I think it could be relevant, but I think it needs to be flipped. So there's something to bear in mind, that there is a 9 cents mark. We are creating some kind of flat top triangle here, and actually the idea I had separate from this EW count was the idea of a teacup and handle. So I think we're developing a higher time frame teacup and handle pattern here. And if people aren't familiar with teacup and handle patterns, I'm gonna just quickly copy it from the internet. I'm going to pull it on and I'm going to show you. Cup, it's called the cup and handle. I call it the teacup because I'm British. The cup and handle pattern. I don't know. Wherever you're from, you can call it whatever you want. Call it toilet bowl and handle. You call it a toilet bowl, it kind of looks like a toilet bowl. Call it whatever you want. So there's some important things about this, and as you can see, according to this information, you have a prior uptrend. Yep, the prior uptrend is intact. Then you have a cup, which is lots of zigzags. You have increasing volume somewhere, maybe here. I don't know exactly where. Then as the price descends, you have decreasing volume. Well, we had decreasing volume here. And as the price ascends, again, you have increasing volume. So volume plays a part in identifying the effectiveness of this pattern. And you have your break line. The break line in this case is 9 cents. So as long as we break 9 cents, the uptrend continues. Look, uptrend continued. So this is a slight correction in the course of our uptrend, but it's not really a correction, it's a slight accumulation or something. So I think we have this kind of cup and handle pattern forming. I don't know if cup and handles have targets like other types of patterns. Let's see, this is an image that might have some more information on the target. Ooh, it's small. Price objective. So how do you work out the price objective? It's the same height as the cup, the cup to the break line, to the neckline. So where is the peak of the cup? Well, it's a very funny cup, right? It's a weird shaped cup. It's not so balanced. mainly because we had this kind of injection. Is it to here or is it to the middle? It's like a it's kind of like a cup that I would create in pottery class because my creative skills are non-existent. It's quite subjective, right? Maybe this was oversold. Don't know. Let's just pretend it's the midpoint for the sake of argument, okay? Which would be somewhere here. And maybe that coincides with where the count begun. So maybe I'm going to take it from where the count begun, as far as I'm concerned. So maybe that's where it begins. So let me just work out the distance. 9 cents, thereabouts, to where it began. Something like that. Is that where it began? Yep. And then we just, for the sake of what I'm doing, it might be easier to draw 9 cents. I probably have it here somewhere. One of these. None of these. Must be that. Okay, I'll just redraw it. It's not a problem. Man Cave, he says, glad I didn't close that long. Well, good on you, mate. Well done. So I hope that I helped in helping you decide what to do. Now you can buy yourself a drink. All right, so you have your key level, which is our break level. You can see the price has come into it actually, so it's definitely resisting. God, don't you just hate resistance? And then, so this is the dilemma. Based on the price objective, it could overshoot. And this is why it's important to count the Elliott waves. And I'm going to count the Elliott, this last 5 waves that I'm contemplating, I'm going to count them. Okay, it's only just begun, so I'm not really bothered right now. But as we start getting into the higher prices, I'm gonna count, because I really want to get this right. As far as the cup and handle pattern is concerned, our target is about 22-23 cents. I'll leave that box for now. I don't need that anymore. And actually, maybe this is not right. Maybe you do it from the break line, the neckline, to the lowest point. If that was true, it'd put us much higher. I'm not trying to make this do what I want. I'm just trying to contemplate ideas. Yeah, so I'm not saying this is correct. It's just an idea, and it does look, it's not like a perfect teacup and handle, so it's a bit lopsided. It does, for me, it looks like a teacup and handle, but maybe it's not. It is possible, and this is the possibility, that this kind of candle up and down wasn't a true move. It wasn't really proper. It was just a mark. Someone just market bought a huge amount of tokens. They didn't care about the price. They just wanted to fill their bags at whatever the price. And it was a deviation from what was actually happening, which is that it was just kind of just going in an uptrend like that. And then someone just market bought, and then people just market sold that, which was good, because the people who market sold that helped create higher lows on the uptrend. But maybe there is no cup and handle here. Okay, I'm just like, it might not be correct. So I'm just kind of contemplating what what it could or could not be. It's a bit weird, huh? Just up and down. It's obviously someone market bought, and then you had a large amount of people sell into that. The great thing about the people selling into that was that the price still made higher lows. So that's really powerful indicator of bullishness. So it's just an idea, but all right, let's just forget about that for a second. Let's not worry about that. Let's go back to our Elliott waves. So potentially 1, ABC, which is our 2, then to 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, to 3, ABC, down to the 4, and now we're in our last wave before we see a bit of a correction. Okay, right now I've got the 1.618 corresponding with this 50% mark on the higher time frame, almost to the dollar. Oh, the cent. Almost to the cent. 0.752, 0.745, almost to the cent. So that gives me an idea that this is going to be quite a strong resistance level to the upside. Okay, the other reason why I think possibly this could be a strong resistance level is because of the trap to liquidity in this first rally here, and none of that trap liquidity has been cleared. When we had this relief rally all the way up to 14, almost 15 cents, it effectively cleared all of the liquidity all the way there. So anyone who was long here was underwater, had a chance to exit at break even. Yeah, that was their exit. But if you were long higher up, you haven't seen the price come back to those prices yet, so you haven't had a chance to exit at break even. So there is trapped liquidity there, and that basically is anything above 15 cents. And really it's just that little bit that comes up, and you see, just I did a little range pull, the point of control comes at the same level. But if you just go to that little bit that comes to the higher, let's see where that comes in. You see, yeah, you see the point of control is at the same level, that same 50% mark at 17.4 cents. You see that? So we have a little bit of confluence here higher up. We have a little bit of trap liquidity. We have a trend-based fib at 1.618, and we got this 50% mark on the higher time frame. So I am thinking there's going to be strong resistance at 17.5. Okay. So this is something to bear in mind. And then the other thing to bear in mind, even though I'm targeting the golden pocket, I think I want to see the waves. So we are in a bullish impulsive wave. There's going to be 5 waves. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We've already had our 5. So we've already completed wave 1. Okay, this is wave 1 complete. Now we're going to have an ABC correction, and hopefully it's going to be a flat correction. It's going to be an ABC like that, flat correction. Okay, that would be perfect because you're going from a V-shaped recovery into some kind of correction. Let me just find a V-shaped recovery drawing to see what people suggest it looks like. There aren't really great stuff online. It's just mostly like stocks and forex. Like crypto is slightly different, so yeah, I can't really see crypto. Sometimes with a V-shaped recovery, you have the V shape and then you have a little kind of this, you know, like a little flag at the top. And so the great thing about this V-shaped recovery is that we're basically above that pivot now. The price is above that pivot, and if we have a really nice flat correction here, that's your 1. So from here to here, that will be your 1. Then we have a 2, and I think we want a flat correction. I mean, if we go down, then we're making a inverse head and shoulders. Okay, so it's just as bullish. It's just a different kind of bullish. I personally think flat corrections are more bullish because you have higher targets. So we have to see how this 2 corrects. It's not going to be long. We're not going to be here for a long period of time because you can see the timings are very short. And it's probably going to have something to do with Bitcoin. So if that's our 2, then we have to see how far the 3 goes. Now look, can the 3 take us all the way up to there? That's the question. Yeah, that's the question. We have to see. We have to count the waves, basically. Then we're counting another ABC. Do we get a deep ABC? Maybe all the way back to this 10 cents mark for a wave, for the final wave. Now, just bear in mind the final wave doesn't have to be crazy. It could be it could just be, let's go back to the golden pocket of this downward move. Yeah, so yeah, it could just be back up to the golden pocket. It depends on how the volume. You have to look at the volume, you have to look at the recovery. If you suddenly get another V-shaped recovery, then you are going for higher. Okay, and naturally you can see that our next point of interest is 28-29 cents, and for me that's a really big level. 28-29 cents is a really big level, and that's really my short-term target on this bull market. My short-term target is about that range, and then I'll be looking for a slightly longer correction. Okay, so we have to see if we get up to this level and we pull all the way back to this 10 cents mark, not to 9 cents. I don't want to go, there we go, back to 9 cents. I think if we can hold 10 cents, this 382, it would be better. And then what you can do is, let me hide this this trend-based fib. So if hypothetically we go to the 1 here and we have a really flat correction to the 2, so yeah, the 3 could extend to where it's got it there. That's fine. If that's the 2, it's all ifs, lots of ifs. And then you have a 3 to there, and you come back to the 4 to there, then with an increase in volume, exactly the same thing that's happened here with an increase in volume here. If we get another increase in volume here at 10 cents and we V-shape, do another V-shape potentially, then you are looking to get to the golden pocket. You can just pile through those levels, and that will be your strong resistance. You can see there's an extension. On the extension, you're hitting pretty strong areas. And that's if you don't have a mat. A mat would just be just like this, just back up to there. And then you're still in this area here. I think just change the color so it looks different. See, what I'm thinking is that usually when you have Elliott waves, one of the waves is an extended wave, and I'm not sure this wave 1, this wave 3 is an extended wave. I think 1, you're getting slightly more on the 3, yeah. So from here to there, that was only like a 56% or so, 53%. From here to here, you only have about 110%. It's not crazy. But if we go from here to here, that's an extension. Look at that. That's 450%. If it just ends here, that's only 230. It's not crazy. I'm not crazy enthused by that, to be honest with you. So we have to count the waves. I think we're coming to the end of our wave 1 now, and we're in a wave 2 correction. Yeah, and we just have to see what the next wave is going to be. The wave 3, as far as I'm thinking, has to get to the 17.5 mark for many reasons. Firstly, the wave 3 has to be longer than the wave 1 for the wave 5 to be bigger. The wave 3 can't be the shortest. So if you have a really short wave 3, then the 5 can't be longer. It'll have to be much shorter. It'll end up like that. So really, I'm thinking we go up to 17 cents, 17.5. Potentially we come back down to 10. And then we just power through to the golden pocket. That's kind of what I'm imagining right now. It's kind of, I'm contemplating this idea. And then when I pull up my Wyckoff graph, oh, I haven't got it here. It's on MEX. I'll go back on MEX then. So I've got this Wyckoff accumulation. You can see it here on the left. So I have two things going on here. There's a few things going on. You have the idea of some kind of Adam and Eve, which I've explained. It's kind of like this. And that's not invalidated. We're still in that kind of pattern. For that to happen, you really do need a strong break of the neckline. I think if we just go up here and come back down without breaking, a proper break, it's not gonna be strong enough. You just have to break the neckline with strength, yeah? And that's what you want to see. You want to see strength. But if you also look at this Wyckoff schematic, the LPS, which is the lowest point of support, let me put this on the weekly time frame. Let me see if you can see the candles a little bit better. I'll get rid of that now. So you see this LPS that I've got marked. As far as I'm concerned, it corresponds with the first higher time frame fib level of 236, and we've back tested that now. So effectively we've done this. We've gone up from our spring, our test, and now we've gone up like this, and we've come back into the LPS and we've back tested it, and we're on our way. And this is the sign of strength. This wave now that we're experiencing is the sign of strength, is the sign of strength wave on this Wyckoff schematic. And really, for a sign of strength, we need to get back above the AR. Now, here it's a little bit messy because you have these wicks. I have the AR at about 2.21, 22 cents, thereabouts, okay, which is basically this 50% mark. So I do think that with this final wave, which we're in now, that would complete the wave one, we have to get to the golden pocket. And that would be a real sign of strength. And the way to get there is to do what I suggested. Break 9 cents, go up to 17.5, which will also coincidentally on the weekly time frame is a higher high. You see, that's the pivot. This is the lower low here, the all-time low. That's the lower high on the weekly time frame. And if we are able to get up to 17.5 cents, we've just put in a higher high on the weekly time frame. So we're beginning market structure change by making a higher high. And then if we are able to, if it does go back to 10 and we hold, and then we have an injection, another injection of volume and power through all the way there, that for me would be the sign of strength. That would be a sign of strength, getting all the way into the golden pocket. And it will also signify yeah, and then the back test will be the next correction. The next correction will be this kind of a prolonged correction, and maybe we'll come back and test the neckline of this Adam and Eve pattern, and that will be about 12, 13, 14 cents. It's a kind of a rough area. That's for this Adam and Eve pattern to be valid. Otherwise, it doesn't really matter because you're in this Wyckoff accumulation. I don't think once you're in this Wyckoff accumulation schematic, I don't think then you want to see the buy up line that I have and the LPS, which is the last point of support. That's basically think it's probably 10 cents. It's probably this 382, maybe 9 cents, because my 9 cents is the historic figure of the token launch price. But in a correction, if you do go up to the golden pocket and then you have some kind of ABC, I don't think I want to see the price now come lower, much lower than the 382, and that's going to be like a prolonged ABC potentially. It depends on Bitcoin. And the flat corrections I think are more bullish because you just have higher targets, but deep corrections can be bullish because what you're doing, what's happening is people are taking profit at the golden pocket and they're waiting for the correction and then they're putting the value back in, and so that's when you get these volume increases at support levels for continuation. Okay, and that's what I'm contemplating right now. We have to count the waves and we have to see how this pans out. But the next, obviously the first challenge for the bulls is to break 9 cents and get to 17.5, and that will be a higher high on the weekly time frame. So this is something that I've been thinking about a lot, and so I've just updated the count for you guys, and let's just see if I'm right and if anyone else has any ideas. See, we're having a little bit of a pullback here, so let's hope we have a flat correction here. We'll have to keep an eye on it. I mean, look at that V shape. It's nice. It's really nice. So this is my kind of current EW count right now. Back into 9 cents again. See that? But if we can just hold here and just consolidate here, we're just consolidating on the resistance. Could this wave 5 be a meh wave? with all of this volume that's come in, back testing a higher time frame support, bullish impulse. This is not a wave 5. This is going to be a strong wave 5. Yeah, it's not a volume. This is like strong impulsive volume. But the thing that you have to consider is that a lot of people are now entering TRVL, and so I don't know if people are aware, but there was a really large an influencer with a large following. I've never heard of him, but he tweeted, and there's two things that have been tweeted. This Lunar Crush, so they have 301,000 followers, yeah, and look what they did. New AOE coins added to lunarcrush.com/discover, and hey look, TRVL, okay, and that got 15,000 views. Okay, so it's amazing. The timing is amazing, huh? So I've retweeted that. You can have a look at that. Obviously you get like these because the volume has increased. Crypto girls, oh no, not crypto girls, who was it? Was it Habib? Some Habib guy. Where is it? Because I retweet a lot. Bitcoin. Here, look, Bitcoin Habib. He has 125,000 followers. See that? And look, read this. March the 22nd. TRVL is an undervalued RWA gem that is sitting at a perfect entry for a mid to long term hold. TRVL is changing the travel industry as RWA project with deep in models. My personal target is 500% from here, and I expect to hit it within the next few weeks or months, especially with the trend being RWA, and this is a great RWA project with good utility and good infrastructure. Well, I can correct him. It's great utility, future great utility, and amazing infrastructure. That's my first correction. Secondly, this is potentially a lifelong hold. Not mid to long term, lifelong hold. I'm not fond of his analysis. It makes no sense to me whatsoever. I don't know how people can analyze the charts like this. I still retweeted it. It's no big deal. For the reasons that I've said, I'm not aiming for this 39 cents. Yeah, I've got my own reasons why certain levels are going to potentially react before we get to 39 cents. I don't know how he came up with 39 cents personally, but that's fine. You know, like let the masses think it's going to 39 cents. But that really brings me to my critical observation. We have a lot of people entering TRVL right now, and these people are not like us. Potentially, they're not looking for long-term hodling or maybe lifelong hodling. They're looking for quick gains. Yeah, they're looking to flip 2x 3x quickly and then just get out and pull their money to another project. So there's a capital rotation going. There's no reason to think that a lot of these people aren't going to sell, and when they do sell, if you don't have bullish continuation or bullish momentum, then the price pulls back deeply or sharply. Yeah, so the onus is on us to beat them to the chase, and then the onus is on us to hold the support levels. Okay, we are the ones here who care about this project and are long-term hodlers and are long-term believers in what TRVL and Dtravel is and are doing. And therefore, I've given you all the levels of interest. Okay, I've given you reasons why, and I'm going to be tracking this movement very carefully because I think this is the final wave of this wave 1. So it's really important that we try and get this one right. Yeah, this is the one that I've been waiting for. Okay, and therefore the onus is on us to do it right and make an effort to defend the correct positions, and then into resistance we can maybe take a little bit of profit so that we have dry powder. Okay, so this is kind of what I'm imagining, and I think if anyone is interested to participate in our combined joint endeavor, and let them think it's going to 39 cents, they're just going to buy it more up vigorously. But we know roughly where the confluence levels are, the areas of interest, and therefore we can act correctly. Okay, we haven't actually hit this 10.4 mark on Bybit this time round, but if you look at MEX, for example, we have hit it once there. You see it reacted. Did it react on yeah, you see on Gate it reacted, and then here I don't have my fibs on KuCoin. That's not correct. One of these? Nope. It's all the same. Okay, let me just pull that up to 1.56. So it's kind of like front run. It almost got there. So we just need to power through that level, to be honest with you. I'm not really. Let's see what happens. Any questions? Oh, the man cave. Yes, thank you. Okay, I'm happy for you, but it's pulled back a little bit. So, or is that Bitcoin? Let me have a look at ETH. Yeah, ETH has pulled back a little bit. I don't know if you took profit. But that's fine. Let me have a look here. I think today we're having a little bit of a bullish day. It might just continue a little bit. Let's just see how the day pans out. There's no reason why we don't go up to, on Bitcoin, we don't go up to like 66,500 and just fill that volume gap. Yeah, look, it's closed. Yeah. There's no reason why we don't go up all the way to fill all of that, get up to there. Now that we've come up, now that we've back tested support and we're up, maybe it will continue. As long as we don't lose that support level, then I think that's fine. All right, that's TRVL and Bitcoin, and everything else. I have to take another break. Actually, Tamar, nice to have you with me. Can you check TLM? I can definitely check TLM, but I'm gonna have to take another half an hour break because it's my niece's birthday. They're opening presents, and here I am streaming about TRVL. Madness. Oh, you see, yeah, that's because of Bitcoin. You see, that's the problem with new entrants to the market. They just sell when they panic. They get a little bit panicky. So, okay, let's see what happens. I can come back in 30 minutes and do TLM if you want. Or I can do it tomorrow. I can definitely do it tomorrow. I can do a full analysis on TLM tomorrow. Let me do it tomorrow. I think I'll spend about maybe 30 minutes and just do a full analysis tomorrow. Craig is saying, tell Eunice we said happy. I better go. Like, I'm literally missing the birthday present openings. All right. I hope this helped with TRVL. And obviously, I'm going to keep an eye on it. Let's see what this correction is going to be like now. We've had 5 waves now. Look, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is like, we're looking for a mini ABC now. This is the ABC. That will complete our wave 2, and then we can have the next wave, and hopefully that will take us to 17 cents. Hopefully, let's cross our fingers. All right. So I think that's it for today, guys. Thanks for joining me. I'll cut these videos up anyway, so you don't have to rewatch the whole thing. You can just watch it, the snippets. All right. See you tomorrow. See you, Craig. And see you in Man Cave. And name